Hello everybody, thank you ever so much for being here. Come in. My name is Debbie Ison and I'm a therapist who is qualified in about 12 different therapies, but I class myself as a hypnotherapist. And I also train hypnotherapists and past life regression therapists. And I love what I do. I'm fascinated by people, I'm fascinated by people's journeys. And I think we're all very interesting and unusual and complex as human beings. We all have our own background, our own life experiences and our own journeys. And I tend to think we're a mix of mental, emotional, physical, social, energetic and spiritual. And when all of those different elements are balanced, we tend to feel good. If, however, we tend to become imbalanced in one or a number of those areas, then we can maybe start to feel not so great, whether that's emotionally, mentally, or physically. So my job is to do all that I can to help people get back to wellness. So for today's talk, what we're going to be talking about is retrieving personal power. Now, this is something that I've always been interested in. I think a lot of the time, when people feel in their power, they tend to be confident. They have high levels of self-esteem. They are certain with their decisions. They know who they are. They're able to speak their truth, to say what they mean and mean what they say, and go through their life with authenticity. And it also allows nice positive things like creativity to flow. A lot of us, however, have had stuff that has happened in our lives that prevents that. Different situations that have taken away our personal power. Now, that might be having an overbearing parent when you're growing up, or perhaps a teacher that was unkind to you, or perhaps friends that bullied you, or maybe it's in adult life you've got a colleague that isn't very helpful or very supportive. And in these different situations we experience over the time that make us not feel so good, little bits of our own personal power can get chipped away. And when that happens, we start to lose confidence in ourselves. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to perhaps have insecurities or vulnerabilities. And we maybe don't make the right choices in life. So what we're going to talk about today is retrieving that personal power. So I'm going to start by giving some suggestions of ways that you can do that. And then I thought we'll go into a nice guided meditation for you to reclaim your personal power here today. So I think for different people, like I say, power gets lost for different reasons. Sometimes it might be one big traumatic event that happens, but for a lot of people, it gets chipped away at over time when it's little things that keep happening over and over again. So in order to bring back that power, we really need to go within. So one of the first places I start to say to people is have a look at your life. Are there any areas where you're struggling to express yourself? Are there any areas where you struggle to keep your boundaries? Are there any areas in your life where you struggle to be seen and to be heard? And all of those things might start to indicate, do you know what? There's some power loss here, and I need to get balance back. Now, when I'm talking about power, I'm not talking about dominating other people or being in control of others. I'm talking about feeling good within yourself. So I think a good place to start is looking at your life and thinking, what areas of my life do I feel that I'm in power, that I've got a good level of control, I have positive self-esteem, and what areas is that lacking? And that can start to help you identify, is this something across all areas of your life that you need to address, or is it one or two things specifically that you need to change? Sometimes it might highlight to you that it's maybe the environment you're in. So it could be that you are in a dynamic, let's go work, for example. That was one place where I lost a lot of my personal power and confidence because I wasn't in the right environment for me when I did my teaching career. And I needed to physically remove myself from that in order to gain my power back. Sometimes it might be removing yourself from a relationship, something that you've outgrown. Other times it might not be anything quite as drastic. It might be that you need to put in boundaries. Now, that is something I've always really, really struggled with. I'm one of those people, and I think probably a lot of you in here are like this. You care about other people, you value other people, you want to do your best for other people. And sometimes that can lead to an imbalance because people take advantage, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. Sometimes other people put their behaviours, their feelings onto you. And I know for me, a lot of that was, I don't want to let people down. And as a result of that, I would then have poor personal boundaries. I would let people be unkind to me and think, well, it's okay because they're going through a really tough time at the moment. Or they've had some trauma in their past. Or they would perhaps ask me at all times of the day and night to do things for them, and it wouldn't necessarily be reciprocated. So I had to think, well, what is it within myself that is causing that imbalance? So looking at those areas in your life perhaps where you don't have those nice, strong boundaries. So when you do that, it's recognising, okay, what is it within you? What need is it within you that you're trying to fulfil? Is it that you want to be cared about? Is it that you want to be accepted? Is it that you want to be loved? That can then be really, really insightful to make you think, okay, perhaps how do I feel about myself deep down? Do I feel worthy of being loved? Do I feel good about myself? Do I like myself? So as you start to look at the areas in your life and then you question deeper, it starts to then help to uncover your behaviours, but also how you feel about yourself, which is often also linked to your values. So when looking at areas in your life perhaps where you feel lacking in power, it's a really good idea to begin looking at your values. What are your core beliefs? Now, an easy way to do that is to think about, say, what you want in life. So one of the things I always wanted in life was, say, to have a family or to have a career where I could help people. For some people, it might be to have a nice car. It might be to have a nice house, whatever it is. Within that, often it's stuff, but it's what's underneath that. What does it give you? So by asking yourself, well, what does this give me? What's important about this? What does it fulfill within me? You then start to work out your deeper intrinsic values. So one of the things that I worked out in my career is I really feel like I want to help people. That's a really important value to me, to be able to serve other people, and that idea of community. So once you start to identify your values, you can think, well, what areas in my life am I able to express my values in a really positive way? And in what areas perhaps am I not able to do that? And all of this can then let you know, maybe I need to make some changes. Because ultimately, all of this work comes back to within. Anything we do is all about self, that self-healing, that journey. And I always say to people, we can only be the absolute best to other people in our lives if we're in the best place ourselves. So if you identify there's anything that is lacking in how you're feeling about yourself or circumstances in your life that you need to change, it's then about doing the work. It's about being brave, because actually a lot of the time when you start working on yourself, it's really scary. Because as well as having all those bits that you like about yourself, when you really start to heal yourself, you have to look at those bits that perhaps you don't like about yourself, those insecurities, those vulnerabilities, those shadows. But it's when you do that and when you have that bravery, you can then start to heal and grow. It's often about shifting those limiting beliefs, those limiting mindsets. And you know what? A lot of them don't even belong to us in the first place. A lot of the things that have held me back in my life, when I've looked back to where they came from, it's somebody else's belief that I've taken on board. It's how they feel about their life, how they see the world. So it's really useful to think, do these feelings serve me? Are they even mine? And if they don't anymore, it's time to let them go. Now, that's easier said than done. If we all could just say, right, do you know what? We're getting rid of everything and I'm going to be amazing. We would all live this wonderful life. But it's often a process and it's a journey. It's healing. And there's different ways different people do that. For some people, it's coming to an acceptance of what's happened to us. That, do you know what? I can't change the past. But am I going to let it define my present and the future? For other people, it might be going within and meditating. It might be prayer, putting it out there, your intentions for something external to assist and support you. Some people, it's journaling, writing down what's going on and following that journey over time to see the patterns and to clear them. Sometimes it's having a chat with a friend. Other times it might be coming to see a therapist like myself. And what I would say is if you do go on that journey, that self-healing journey, it is just that, it's a journey. It doesn't happen instantly. I know for the past probably 10 years I've been committed to working on myself. And I just get to the point every time I go, do you know what? I'm quite good now. I feel quite happy with myself. I've seen the progress. And then somebody triggers me. There's a situation that occurs. And I think, okay, that's shown me there's a little bit more work to go. So it's also having patience with yourself through that process. It's knowing that it's okay that it takes time. You don't have to change everything and all in one go. Little by little, you can make the changes you need to help yourself become more empowered in your life. To find your voice, to be able to express your emotions in a constructive and positive way. And you find that once you've reclaimed your power, it is much easier to express your emotions. Because quite often when we feel out of power, those emotions, we hold them, we store them, they build and they bubble, and either we suppress them and then we become unwell, or they build and build and build like a volcano, and then all of a sudden you erupt, and you're in floods of tears, or you're shouting at somebody, and it's not very productive. So the more that you can connect in with your true self, connect in with your power, the easier it becomes to express yourself in a really positive way. So be kind to yourself on that journey. Some of you, as you've been listening to this, will be just listening along. For others of you, it might have started to spark there, but, actually, do you know what? I can think of a specific situation where, whenever I meet my mother-in-law, for example, I feel a little bit shy, like a child. Is that useful for me? Or, do you know what? Whenever I see my boss, it makes me feel like a nervous wreck. Or, when I meet this one particular friend, I feel like they're bossing me around all the time. And when you start to have those little bits of ideas of, I need to work on that, take stock of it and remember, because that is something that we can be working on now together. So what we're going to do is we're going to get nice and comfortable. And obviously I invite you to join in, but there's no pressure to do so. And if you wish, you can close your eyes, but if you wish to keep your eyes open, that's absolutely fine. And we're going to go on a journey now for you to collect those bits of power that you've lost along the way, whether it's in childhood or adulthood, whether it's with particular people or situations, with the intention that you can leave here today feeling a little more empowered and more connected. So when you're ready, if you would like just to take some nice deep breaths, just allowing yourself to become centred, allowing yourself to become grounded, connected and secure. And with each breath you breathe in, you may like to imagine that you are breathing in positive feelings of peace, safety and security, or whatever is right for you. And with each breath out, you may like to imagine that you are exhaling any stresses or tensions, just allowing them to leave your system on the out-breath. And with each breath in, you can just allow yourself to become more and more comfortable, knowing that with every breath you take, you just allow yourself to become more centered and more at peace. And with the next breath you breathe in, you allow the relaxation to fill your head, face and neck, eyes becoming heavy, muscles becoming relaxed, perhaps allowing your jaw to part a little as you allow all the tension to drain away. And as you continue to breathe, the relaxation travels down through your shoulders, arms, hands, and all the way through to your fingertips, allowing them to become comfortable and relaxed. And as you continue to breathe, the relaxation travels down through your spine and out across your back, allowing you to become more and more comfortable in the chair upon which you are sat. And as you continue to breathe, the relaxation travels down through your chest and into your stomach, allowing you to breathe so much more easily and naturally now, relaxing more with every breath that you take. And as you continue to breathe, that relaxation travels down through your hips, buttocks, and into your thighs, moving down through your knees, calves, ankles, and all the way through to your feet and toes. And as you continue to relax, I would like you now to turn your attention to the soles of your feet. And I would like you to imagine some strong, sturdy roots coming out of the soles of your feet, moving down into the ground, connecting you with Mother Earth, supporting you, stabilizing you, connecting you, allowing you to become calm, centered and relaxed, knowing that this is a time for you, with nobody wanting anything, nobody needing anything, simply your time to rest, relax and be. And as these roots move all the way down now, down to the Earth's magnetic core, they begin to soak up a wonderful grounding earth energy. Just allowing this energy now to come up through the soles of your feet, moving up through your body. And with each breath, that grounding energy travels up through your system until it comes to rest at your heart. And as you just rest and relax now, I invite you to imagine a place in nature that feels peaceful and safe to you. Now this may be a place that you've gone to in real life, or it may be a place that your mind creates. You may see images, you may hear sounds, you may feel feelings, or you may simply get a sense or a knowing. Whatever you bring to mind is fine for you. And as you just allow yourself now to be within this place in nature, there you notice in front of you there is a tiny seed. You pick up this seed and place it in between your hands. This seed is a seed of intention. And as you connect with that seed now, you set the intention that now it is your time to retrieve your personal power from any people, places or situations throughout all time, all space, all dimensions and realities, for you to allow all of that power to return to you so that you can live in an authentic way. You set your intention now and then place that seed perhaps in your heart, where it can begin to be nurtured and grow each and every day. And as you keep that seed with you now, you notice in front of you there appears a beautiful shimmering light. This light moves closer towards you, completely surrounding you with healing and protection, to allow you to heal at all levels of your being, whether that be mental, emotional, physical, social, energetic or spiritual. And as you bathe within this light now, you know it is time for you to retrieve your personal power. And as you sit within this place now, you notice approaching you, there is an animal. Now this animal is a representation of your personal power. This animal brings specific medicine or gifts to assist you at this time. Now this animal may create a clear image within your mind or you may hear the word, or simply sense what this animal is. It may be an animal you're familiar with, or it may be one that is less so. Trust that this animal has come to help you retrieve your personal power. As this animal approaches you now and comes to sit beside you, you connect in with this animal and its personal attributes. Notice what comes to mind. You may instantly be aware of what this animal represents, or you may wish to ask for that information, knowing that it will come to mind either now or in the days to come. This animal has come to help you now with all its gifts, to help you retrieve your power, to travel through your timeline, collecting up all the pieces of your power that got lost or taken, knowing that they belong to you and it is time to recall them back. Knowing that as you do that, you will allow yourself to live your best life possible. And as you just relax now, setting that intention, that animal begins to travel through your timeline, retrieving the pieces of your power that were lost. Now you may simply have a sense of that power returning to you now, or you may perhaps feel different sensations in your body, or perhaps see a colour that represents that power for you. Just allow it now to be breathed in and incorporated into your system, as though collecting pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, returning them all to you now to allow you to be whole and complete. I am just going to be quiet for a moment to allow that power to return to you. Once this is done, just continue to sit and relax within this peaceful place, and I shall begin to talk again shortly. That process will continue for as long as it needs. It may complete now, or it may complete over the coming days. And as you allow that power to return to you now, it will help you to be more centered and grounded. It will help you to have strength in situations in your life where that strength is required. It will allow you to connect with your authentic self, to say what you mean and mean what you say, with confidence and positive expression. It will allow you to love yourself more, like yourself more, and respect yourself more. It will allow you to give yourself the very best, whatever you need in life, so that you can live your best life possible. Maintaining positive boundaries, doing the things that make you happy, and living your life to the fullest. So as you just rest and relax now, I would like you just to allow your mind to drift into those situations, perhaps where before that power was lacking. And as you feel that power returning to you now, notice the changes that take place. See it, hear it, feel it and sense it. bring to mind how much stronger you feel, how much more in your power you feel. Notice your positive responses within those situations. Notice that by being your authentic self, you are also giving others around you the opportunity to grow, to heal and evolve if that is what they choose. But you are choosing from today to live your life to the fullest, standing within your power, being your power, embracing your power. And I shall just be quiet once again for a moment so you can bring to mind all of those things, noticing the positive changes. And then when I speak again, I will gently guide you back into the room. Knowing now that from this point on, you can ask yourself, what do I need to do to be in the present? What do I need to do to be my authentic self? What do I need to do to establish positive boundaries? What do I need to do so I live my life congruent to my values? And what do I need to do so that I can be the best version of myself that I can be? My power helping me along this journey. So now when you're ready, as you just take some nice deep breaths, just once again connecting with your body, connecting with this room, thanking your power animal for assisting you, knowing this process will take as long as it needs. And as you just rest and relax now, you may begin to hear the traffic going past. You may hear my voice more. You may notice the sensation of sitting on your chair. Returning your attention to the room now, beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, re-alerting your body, becoming grounded, embodied and centered. And then when you're ready, just allowing your eyes to open, returning to the room, and returning to the space. You're all very good at relaxing. I'm very impressed. Normally, when I do something like this and there's such a big group, I have quite a few people that are perhaps a bit unsure or a bit nervous of whether they should do it, and it takes them a little while. But you were all really good at that, so I think you all need to give yourselves a clap, because that's impressive in itself. So thank you ever so much. If anyone wants to chat with me afterwards, please do come and have a chat to me.
I think it's brilliant. Thank you.
Lovely time. So thank you ever so much. I really appreciate it.